Hi, this is Mike Quinn from LM76, and this is another edition of LM76 Live. Today, our guest is John Lai from Sliding Systems in the UK, our defense partner for telescopic linear slides. Good afternoon, John.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good, thank you. John, we just delivered 17 very heavy and expensive linear slides for a DoD application, which required high loads and long extension and a lot of corrosion resistant coating. And I was just wondering if you could go over the challenges in that application and how you overcame them.
Well, as a British company approached by the American DoD, we needed a partner in LM76, a local partner in the defense industry. So that's how it started. We were asked to work on a weapons handling project. Can't really go into it, but it was a very heavy weapon system that required a huge extension. So we're looking at a slider that's telescopic slider, 32-inch closed, but they needed a travel of 47 inches. And it needed to take a load of 1,500 pounds, which, in a defense environment, that includes shock and vibration. So really, you're loading it to ×2 that magnitude as a closed seismic loading. And we had a product off the shelf, actually, 4-beam slider, a QSRT 120. So it's about 5 inches high in profile, very heavy duty. And it ticked all the boxes. DoD were very happy and they purchased. There's a lot of to and fro in between, Mike, as you know. FEA testing to prove that it would work, shock resistance beyond anything, and manufactured very quickly on our automated process on milling machines, which are state of the art, and in-house plating. You touched on the corrosion resistance. It was a zinc plate, a rich zinc plate with stainless steel 316L bearings. It was pretty bespoke at the end of the day. And I appreciated when you opened the box, I saw the video of the sliders and your face. They were quite unusual slides in the US, but received well.
I think so.
Yeah.
But you are also, most of your slides in the defense area are vehicular, airborne, and marine. Is that right?
Yeah. That's right. Well, normally in the States, they love the 316L stainless slides. We can mill up to 3 meters, which I think is 120 inches. So we can mill solid 316L section at 120 inches. And they can go up to 5,300 pounds in load capacity over the pair. So we're not talking draw slides here. We're talking precision, hard, heavy duty telescopic slides. They can work in applications I've witnessed up to 62G. A nuclear submarine, for example, taking a weapon inbound is roughly 62G in magnitude. So our slides have actually been tested to that standard. And the stainless steel is something that's very important in the US because generally these kind of products aren't made there. They're made more in Europe. So we've got quite an advantage shipping in through friends like LM76 partners into defense, and then all the way through to the real special stuff when you start looking at aerospace materials maybe. And they don't want all stainless. They might want to go to an aero alloy. And we've worked with these aerospace alloys, 7075 T6s, which have the tensile strength of steel and the corrosion resistance of almost stainless. But these are cross-roller bearing system with 316L rollers, not all bearings. So we can displace the load and take extreme loading up to 700, 750 pounds in aluminum. And they're going into American Special Forces, they're going into the desert, because they have a wiper system, keeps the sand ingress out of the bore race. So you've seen nuclear submarines all the way through to Navy SEALs in the desert. Quite interesting, we had the SAS, the British SAS, visit our facility in Wrexham, UK, and they laid out a vehicle. And strangely enough, the Navy SEALs wanted the same vehicle. And we designed it for them, and off we went. And it's actually also being used in aerospace. They're dropping things, pods out by parachutes, and these aluminum slides are impacting on the ground and holding the load superbly.
Now, you're also involved in aviation seating, correct?
Sure. Yeah, we do a lot of work there. US is a very big market for us. It's been opening up. I can't go into it too much, but we've developed particular slides. We've looked at very heavy-duty induction-hardened steel beams that were used historically in aerospace seating. But now we can use a very lightweight alloy to drop in and replace these items. We mill them in-house. We've got our own production facility in Italy, and we can manufacture to AS 9100D. So it's a proficient manufacturing system we have. There's been some very large aerospace orders over the last 12 months we've been working on.
Great.
Very pleased.
Now a lot of these slides are used on truck body extensions, cabinets, for instance, fire trucks, emergency vehicles, things of that nature. And you have a wide spectrum of products, not just defense, but a lot of commercial products.
Yeah, we've got we know we have the world's widest range of telescopic slides. Generally, if we can't supply it, we say it can't be done on a telescopic slide. Our professional range, which is the range that we work with you on in stainless, we just added another 42 slides. Now, a competitor will have a big marketing campaign for maybe 1 or 2 slides in a year, but during lockdown, we designed 42 more. And at the same time, we brought in FEA analysis into the system, where every slide in the range was tested to FEA standards. So we now know operational forces, we know cyclic rates, we know deflections, we know everything. We know, more importantly, we can actually build in projects, certainly on the Western coast, which I was unfamiliar with, where you have seismic activity, where there's earthquakes, and they need to know what the loading of the slide is in the stowed position. And in Europe, we just don't get this, or certainly not in the UK. And so they need to know what the slide will take if there's an earthquake. Will it support that generator? And being able to take very accurate FEA analysis and put it into the project is really helping our US design engineers. I work with you on the US market and myself directly with some other markets, and we're doing about 20 projects a day just on telescopic slides. That's a lot. Okay, we're a fast-growing company. We've got a lot of engineers, which I head up, but out of the 20, I'll deal with you maybe 1 or 2, and the team will back up the rest. But we've been seeing some incredible projects, very, very long slides. The full 3 meters with full extensions, 200% strokes. And now we can prove our load capacities at these extremities. It's really, the projects have taken off for us.
You know that LM76 is very active in the FDA caustic washdown marketplace, food process manufacturers, and also packaging machinery manufacturers. And really, the 316 is a huge thing in that marketplace because caustics just rip everything else up. So we have applications, for instance, where there are heavy drawers coming out of large cabinets, and there are very few suppliers that I can see that'll supply a stainless slide.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at 316L, so we're talking about austenitic, we're talking low electromagnetic signature. You're looking at something that's been designed for the Navy. You're looking at something that's been designed for a nuclear submarine, where no electromagnetic signature can come off a slide.
Right.
And you've taken that 316L across out of shipborne into an application where 440 might have been used previously. So, yeah, I mean, the unusual thing with our business is we can supply a 440 for caustic washdown, we can supply a 304 right up to a 316L. And we've had one recently where the entire slide was 316L, even the bearings. And in other variants, we can go 440 straight through.
And and you're milling all the bodies.
We're milling these. But even more interesting, Mike, we've just purchased a new machine, the toy, as it's known as, in the facility, which I've not seen yet because of lockdown, where we're actually taking our ball cages and we're using a laser cutter. Because on a bidirectional slide now, the accuracy as the slide traverses through the beams is so great that we need to grind all the surfaces. And this even includes the ball cages. It separates the ball bearings. We're now laser cutting them for that accuracy. And so you can take any sheet material you want and put it in the laser cutter. It's incredibly effective. Added on top, in the last year, we've just added our own plating facility. We can now plate the steel in-house. So we've had interesting applications, certainly with the US, where we've had to rapid prototype products in one day. And that is literally taking the design at midnight from the US via me straight to the facility to start at 6 a.m. to mill 2 slides very quickly. We had one very recently for a company specializing in laser optics. And they needed to replace a competitor slide, which was in 304 and totally useless for the task. And we had one day to replicate this slide in 316L and ship it. And
you're not relying on the lead time of an outside vendor.
No, all done in-house. We milled it, machined it off. It's stainless, so we didn't have to plate it, assemble it. And those 2 slides were picked up by DHL that evening, and they're in the US 2 days later in Washington.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
You don't want that one every day.
John, can you just give me sort of a thumbnail on the genesis of sliding systems, how you got started?
Oh, very interesting. My father was a slides guy, and the company who he worked for is a competitor, so I won't name them. They're a UK company. And he was the MD. And he basically left acrimoniously, and he set up GSF. It was originally called GSF in 1988. And I'd been involved as a very young boy in the slide making process. Any guy that's family making telescopic slides will say they grew up and teethed with ball bearings, which was me. Yeah. Right. Anyway, I didn't want to be an engineer. I wanted to be a lawyer. So I was at law school, be a barrister, the guys that wear those wigs. And my father set this business up, and 2 months later, unfortunately, he died. He passed away quickly. And I was at university, 23 years old, and I decided to leave my studies for a while and see if I can make something of this very small fledgling business, which it was a distributor of a French product. And I never went back, and that was 33 years ago.
Right. And you've really built a beautiful company.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. We're growing all the time. We just made an acquisition, the manufacturing acquisition, whereby we've grown tremendously. And it's great now to be not a distributor of someone else's products necessarily. We do that, but we also have our own products that we can manufacture and design. And all of our new products, I'm involved in the design myself personally. So I work with our partners, our own business, and working with some very clever guys, who understand slides totally, and we can bring that wealth of experience of working with various government agencies or the likes of NASA, for example, we worked with, and we can take that and develop the technology. So we're at the front of the design of telescopic slides, without a doubt.
Well, I think you're a lot like LM76 because, our motto is when others think catalog, we think solution.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I would say 50% of what we do is special. And much of it, by the way, these applications, our competitors do not want to pick them up. They would prefer to go with a catalog item, sell what's on the shelf. We basically say, look, what's the application? We're going to meet the challenges. Yeah. And I think you're the same way.
The bane of my life is picking up a botched project where a furniture slide manufacturer has gone in and said, yeah, sure, it's not a problem. I've gone in to pick up the pieces. The trouble is, they've done it with something that's come from an IKEA piece of furniture, and they're saying it can do X, Y, Z. And you're left with a very small space envelope to replace and repair this nightmare scenario. And so that's why we mill a lot of our slides, in that we don't necessarily have an off-the-rack size. You might find a furniture slide's gone into a generator for shipborne equipment, and they can't change it. You just have to get in there, adapt, and move on. So right. I would say a lot of my career in the first 20 years was certainly replacing botches from competitors, which I think, Mike, where you've come from too.
I've seen a few interesting applications where you have to walk in and go, wow. Yeah. What are we going to do? But well, listen, I think everybody out there who listens to this, Sliding Systems is an amazing company, a wonderful partner of LM76, particularly in the defense atmosphere or marketplace. And if you need a special slide, you need engineering help, Sliding Systems is the company to go to. I want to thank John for his time. And
thanks, Mike.
Any questions you might have, give me a call or email me at mquinn@lm76.com. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye.
Pleasure. Bye.